about oh, your boy Trump with that video.
Oh,
Y'all saw,
when?
y'all saw that, right?
With the gorilla video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think he made a mistake on that one
Well,
because they've been tearing him up. They done made him the baboon's ass and everything.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
done kind of went a little solid, ain't he? I ain't heard too much from him. I did see him at the make an ass out of himself at the what is it, National Prayer Breakfast or whatever the hell they had.
Person.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that, Matt? You didn't see him
I,
on the
I try not to watch it here.
man. You need to watch it, man. Woo-wee.
No, you know, I don't have one heart attack. I can't.
Is it that bad, Matt?
It's that bad.
That joke-
I see the governors are pulling out of the NGA.
Yeah.
I guess once a year the president typically meets with all the governors. I guess the first one he uninvited was the governor from was it Maryland?
Right.
right.
Was
Yeah.
Maryland.
The black guy. The black guy first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he uninvited all the Democrats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the Republicans, God bless their heart, started to pull out too. So,
Yeah.
you know, it gives you some hope that there might be some people with a little bit of common sense left in this world.
Maybe two of them.
So you think there's a shift coming, Matt?
No,
No. No.
we just 1 year into a 4 year thing. It ain't
Mhm.
happening.
Mhm.
He trying to get this this midterm thing. He trying to get ahead of this midterm thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you
But
you, you see that what's that Save America Act or whatever?
Yeah.
They passed that today.
Mm.
Yeah, they did. So that about the tariffs of Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they passed it saying that he can't put tariffs on Canada.
I can say that went against them, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that Save America was about you got to prove you're a citizen to vote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but see, that whole thing is that same thing, you got to remember that's just one chamber. When the Constitution is already, explicit about the voting and what, go along with the voting. So them trying to tell you got to have ID and then, all these wickets you got to go through to vote. They actually shot that down a few years ago in Georgia, Georgia had attempted that recently to make people get ID cards. And then, what they didn't factor in was the fact that when you regulate something like that, then as a state or as a government, you have to provide it for free.
Right.
And that's when it goes off the rail because they don't want to give nothing away for free. They want people that can't afford to buy a specific ID, that then they won't get that ID. So you eliminate them. But it's all designed to cut the numbers down. But
Mhm.
it
Well,
don't
that,
pass
that
the muster because it's one of those things that's just going to be in court.
And that's
yeah, it's all kinds of holes in that anyway.
Yeah, it's going to
Because
be it.
the so-called real ID was supposed to be one of the items, but you don't have to be an American citizen to get a real ID.
exactly.
Mhm.
Because you gotta it is right. So if you want to drive, you got to get that driver's license, and it's gonna be real ID.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Now,
But you can't.
I was told some places they have an option. You can get real ID or non,
Oh,
real
in
ID.
Massachusetts, you still, well, you could up until a year or so ago.
Yeah.
You go get your license. You could get a driver's license, or you could get a real ID.
Right.
Okay. Now, to get the real ID, granted, you had to present some proof. I don't know, light bill and
Like
birth certificate. I don't remember exactly what it was. I have one, but you know, I guess still, from my understanding, is even if you a so-called foreigner, you can get a real ID.
Yes.
Don't your government your retirement military retirement card, is that a real ID?
Hell no.
No.
No,
Hell no.
It was supposed to be.
Yes, yeah.
It was supposed to be real ID by virtue of them putting that chip in that card.
Right.
No.
So that chip was supposedly, like everything that was in benefits and sites like that with your records, all that was supposed to be encapsulated in that chip.
Well, but you see, they just deported a military guy to Jamaica this week.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't have a real ID, driver's permit, and I refuse to get one because the way the law reads is you either have to have a real ID or certain government IDs, and your military ID is acceptable. If you have a VA health insurance card, that's acceptable. If you have a passport, that's acceptable. If you have a passport card, that's acceptable.
Yep.
And I was in New York and trying to get out of New York to come home, and they tried to get me to get a real ID, so I wouldn't show them. I had a passport card with me. I had my passport card, but I refused to show them. I just showed them my military ID. They got mad, and made me stand around for a while, and then they let me get on the airplane. So I said, screw them. But to me, it's an attempt to make you pay the money, because in Virginia, it costs $10 to get a real ID.
Yep. It does. Yep.
Well, in Massachusetts, the price for the driver's license and the price for the real ID were the exact same price.
Price. Yeah. Yep. But but the crazy thing about it was I took my wife down and got her the driver's license with the real ID, and then her license expires at the end of the year. They said, well, you got to go. I said, why don't you just push it all the way through? No, you got to come back and do it again. I said, that's
wow.
That's
crazy.
One of the things I loved about the United States is you didn't have to have an ID to go. When you foreign countries, if you go from like one county to another in that country, you have to show identification.
Yep.
And I was really sad, and I was talking to my grandson who lives in Minnesota. I asked him, what's he saying? Papa, I got all my papers. I said, damn. Has this what this country's come to?
Yep. That's what
you have to have some papers to show who you are. To travel.
My understanding is it might become a problem for some women that have changed their name in marriage.
yes, that's what I've heard too.
And so how do they, I guess you have to have your birth certificate and your marriage license and
marriage license, divorce decree, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's gonna come back on them. It's gonna come back on them. They try to do this simply, like I said, once again, all this is about race, right? Because if everybody was white, they didn't care.
All right.
Now that we've got people of different colors, now all of a sudden we're going to challenge who's American and who's not. And that's what this is all about.
White men, okay? Because white women don't enjoy that same status.
They don't.
That's right, Mike.
But they don't.
Right.
They don't, because they all vote with their husbands.
Yep.
Vote with their husbands. I remember Dave Chappelle was talking about, I remember that women was complaining about something, and he says, I don't know why y'all mad. He said, you was in on the heist. What's the problem? You don't like your cut? So, and you saw that even with Trump election was white women with their husbands for that joker, even though they vote against their own self-interest.
Yeah. I still get the impression that if Trump has his way, it will be back to you can only vote if you're a landowner. You
Oh,
know,
if he could, he would. If
yeah.
he,
Mm, mm.
right, and you'd have to be a white landowner because
There you go.
black landowners.
So can we say that the the really only people that are native to this country are the American Indians, and everybody else other than us black folks are immigrants? Because I don't consider myself or black folks being immigrants because we were forced here.
Right.
Yeah.
We
We
more
were kidnapped
We
about here.
more American than the Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right, right.
But I saw where ICE down there in New Mexico uh, deported a doggone Navajo Indian.
Yep.
Wow.
They deported, grabbed him up. He looked like he was Mexican. They threw him in the back of the truck and put him and locked him up.
Mm.
He said, "Wait a minute, you know, my folks been there for 10, 15,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm American. You ain't American, but they damn sure did."
Wow. Now, what did they do, man? Did they did all the reporters leave Minnesota or what? I mean, what's the deal with that? Since Holman went in, okay, he ran all the reporters out, right? Because the ICE is still doing the same shit they were doing. I do believe. Anybody heard anything that's
No,
going
I
on up in
haven't
that
heard
area?
anything. I haven't
Mhm.
Yeah,
heard anything about that.
yeah,
It's
they shut that shit down, didn't they?
it's been quieter.
You think it's been quiet or just haven't been able to report on it?
Your boy
Or they just
Tom
stopped
Homan,
reporting on it?
Tom Homan read on the Riot Act,
He read who to Riot Act?
read the news media.
The news media. That's what I'm saying. So he
Yeah.
done scared the media out.
Yep.
I that I think there's been so many other distractions they ain't had time to concentrate on that.
Well, that Epstein file done kind of blew up on their asses, ain't it?
There's been other things on
Yeah, that Epstein file is getting them.
yeah.
Ron, what you think, man,
To his
with this
credit, he
Epstein
keeps
file thing, man?
Well, I think all the Epstein file is just exposing what, has been going on um forever. Because I mean, you look at cats like R. Kelly, Prince, not Prince, but
P. Diddy.
Diddy. And the reason why they chose the lifestyle and the things that they was doing is because they witnessed it and they learned it from someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't from the black culture, because the black people that have money don't put naked people in a on a platter and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that's been exposed, that that's been going on for a lot of years. But the thing in this country is the fight is not about these everyday things, man. The fight is about what's happening in the courts. These
right.
everyday things are not going to affect your life unless it get to the courts, and the courts rule in a certain way and it becomes a law. If it's not a law, it's a waste of time. A lot of these topics, because they're going to do what they're doing right now, and we have to change our tactics. We're waiting for them to do things normal. They're not going to do shit normal.
Yeah.
They act like little spoiled rich kids. And when you see the photographs when they have their staff meeting, there's no one else in there but a white culture.
Right.
So the same people that voted these people in got to understand. Those are the ones that have to be educated to understand this is the type of shit that you are, perpetuate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because without your vote, it wouldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to change, how they're voting and what they consider valuable enough for them to vote for a certain individual, because that's where the problem lies, is whether or not, I think Chester had said something earlier, and his inference was, did we think that what's going on now, it's going to end when Trump's out of office?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
because the answer should be yes. because there's nothing, pretty much there's not anything that a president or Congress could do, a president without a Congress, that makes anything permanent. You know what I'm saying? These are 4-year terms, which mean that the shit that goes on besides the laws that are passed are temporary. They're 4-year things.
Right.
So a lot of the conversation that's being given air to, you got, like you were talking about journalists. Journalists work for likes and ratings and and all of these things, how many followers they got. If they are told that if they keep telling the truth, they're gonna be, exempt or kicked out like they did at the press club, then they're gonna change their tactics. Like a lot of these news stations, CNN and a lot of them, you can see they got guys on there, representatives or whoever, lawyers, and they're just telling you some bullshit because they're lying and they know they lying. So these people go to Yale, Princeton, Harvard law schools, and they saying things that you would want to say to yourself, if you had to be that stupid to get in that law school, then everybody would be in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're lying to people that want to be lied to, I should say, because a lot of folks in a lot of races in this country have learned to live on what they have in subsistence. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad, because the reason why I don't think it's going to last is because you look at some of the young folks in the movement around the world is they marry who they marry.
Right.
And that's one thing they're not going to give up. That's their fight. So you got biracial, you got same sex, you got everything. That's what they're going to be fighting for going forward.
You're right.
To them, somebody that's becoming, say, a trans sexual person, to them, that's a person that need kid gloves because mentally they're going through some things. So we should show some empathy for them. That's what their reasoning is. Whereas someone older or someone in our class might be, see, you a damn fool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got pastors, man, that are telling lies, priests that are saying things that they know is not true. I love this new pope, because he's giving them the business. He's giving it to them straight, like he's still in Chicago.
Yep.
But what he's doing is he's informing the world not to allow this to happen to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So immigration in this country, first of all, to call somebody an illegal alien, what the hell is that?
Right.
Illegal alien
came
is, to
from the
me, is
moon.
like I'm African or I'm Afro-American.
Right.
What the hell is an illegal alien?
That's the made up word.
Well, alien is somebody foreign, right?
Right.
How can a person be foreign if that nationality already exists in this country?
Exactly.
There's Hispanics here. There's all kinds of folks here. Hindu, whatever, right?
Right.
So because you don't have a citizenship makes you an illegal alien.
Right.
The hell is an alien?
What they say? How can you be illegal on stolen land? Right.
That came up at the Grammys. I think that was
Billie Eilish. That was Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish. Yep.
How can you be illegal on stolen land? You stole the land, so who illegal, me or you? Right? We all squatting.
Yeah.
We all squatting here.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. Everybody from some damn where. Other than here, other than the natives that was here.
Yeah.
Trump, his whole damn family what, immigrants.
Immigrant.
He's a damn, well, like I said, well, they all are immigrants other than the natives.
Absolutely.
But then I got a kick out of it. Well, he sang the whole Super Bowl halftime was in Spanish. Hell, I can't understand Trump's the first lady. Who knows what she's saying?
Exactly.
He made a whole movie nobody could understand.
And she don't even, from what I understand, she don't really talk in the movie.
Not the whole movie.
What came up to my mind on that, guy? These people that go to opera. Now, you think that these people go to opera, understand that language they be singing?
They don't.
Exactly.
None of them know Italian unless
Mhm.
from.
Ain't no different.
No.
Right.
Yeah. You
But
right, Mac.
First of all, Spanish was America's first language. Everybody get it twisted. Spanish was the first language of the United States.
But the United States doesn't have an official language.
It doesn't.
Nope.
There is no such thing as the official language of the United States is English. No.
Oh, Trump he tried to do an executive order to do that, but there's no such thing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
if we'd been smart, we'd be like France. France, they make it mandatory that you learn French and English. And if we made it mandatory that you learn Spanish and English, we'd have been in a lot better shape.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, it was.
Right, because we've got, if you go to Texas, some parts of California, Florida, or hell, Marydale, you better be able to speak some Spanish if you want to get something.
That's right. You're right, Smitty. Yep. Mac,
Yes, sir.
your boy Tim Scott.
Oh, he came out of the woodwork, didn't he?
He said we no, he didn't. He just poked his damn he pulled his head out of Trump's ass just for a minute, long enough to say that was the most racist thing he's ever seen come out of the White House.
But,
So now if he'd have kept his head out of Trump's ass, I mean, really? That's the most racist thing you've seen?
Yep. But Ed, my problem with that is somebody pointed it out, is he demanded that he take the video down. But
who Tim Scott demanded that?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't.
Huh?
That's what he said.
Well,
I
he
believe.
But my issue is, he should have demanded that Trump step down. The video wasn't the real problem. The problem was the person that posted the damn video. So we need to get rid of the problem.
Hey, Mac, they treat it like the gun.
Oh,
the gun. But and Mac, you 100% right. They say the gun don't kill the people. Who kill the people?
People kill the people.
There you go. So there it is. The picture didn't kill him. The person who did it, who had to put the picture up there, did the killing.
Right.
Yeah. But Mac, you 100% right. But that's the way they look at it.
Well, who did it, Bobby? We still don't know who did it. He said it was a junior staffer that did it. We figured.
No.
Have we figured out who did it yet?
I think the press secretary tried to throw the junior staffer.
How is a junior staff?
But wait.
Junior staffer.
He did it. Trump. He said he was standing on Air Force One and said he did it himself, and he wasn't going to apologize.
Yeah.
He said he's not apologizing because he didn't look through the whole thing. Therefore, he didn't know that was included. So that's not his fault that he didn't look through the whole thing to see that.
Judge Your Honor, I didn't know the gun was loaded.
There you go. There you go. I pulled the trigger. They told me the gun was empty. I just pulled the trigger.
Exactly.
But the first excuse was it was a junior staffer, right?
Always.
Yeah.
How the fuck they lie like that, man? How they lie like that, man?
They lied.
They just lied, bro.
Okay.
So you call them a lie, then you tell another lie. Huh?
If it was a junior staffer, ain't that junior staff out there to be hanged?
Right,
okay.
Well, they said it was
an
anonymous junior staffer.
But think about this, man. A junior staffer, if that is true, is handling presidential stuff.
Right.
A junior person, inexperienced, and that's what that says to me, that person is inexperienced, right?
And
but yet you're allowing this person to do things in the name of the president of the United States.
In other words,
look, how's that an excuse?
Crazy.
In other words, giving them an auto pen.
Right. Yeah, they talk about Joe and the damn auto pen.
Yeah, is that what you're saying? That's what you doing? You gave him an auto pen? All right. You can't
man.
have it both ways.
I've
I'm
never
telling
seen
you,
such
the
shit, man.
level of stupidity, if you dwell in it on a day-to-day basis, it will just send you someplace you don't want to go.
You're right,
Because
Ron.
it's just so. I mean, it's not even that people say, well, they're not disguising it. They're not disguising it because they don't give a damn.
Perfect example was
Trump says things, and then once he says it, he don't care what everybody else thinks. He moves on to the next thing that he's thinking about saying.
They came out with a jobs report, right? And suddenly we gained all these jobs. Everybody knows it's a bullshit report.
I saw that today.
Yeah.
Looks good, don't it? Looks good on TV.
They fired all the statistics people, so who doing it? Right? So they
didn't even give it a good number. 100, what they give it? 130,000? That ain't even a good number.
No.
And when you go with the ones that they had lost, the millions that they lost, that 130,000 ain't even a good number.
No.
But the number it was the last couple months was 50,000. What happened for all this to get a sudden surge?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Smitty. That's not even a good number.
I know, it's a horrible.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. So 130,000 people, let's just say 130,000 people got jobs.
Right.
In the last quarter, because it's done on quarters.
Right.
So how many people is that a month?
Yeah, exactly.
You got 300 and let's say 60 million people in the country.
Right.
So if you take that 130, right, and give them jobs, you ain't even at 1%. You ain't even at 1%.
That's 100%. We got 100%.
You ain't even at 100%. You still under 1%.
Yep.
So what did you do? What was your accomplishment?
You're right.
Compared to the unemployment rate, what was your accomplishment? You didn't even move the needle. That's like putting gas on an empty. That's like going to the gas station and put the hose in the tank and don't pull the lever to put gas in it. You ain't going.
Give me 50.
You ain't going nowhere.
Give me 50 cent word.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. As soon as you start it up, you gonna have to sit there a little longer.
You're gonna burn through it. Yep. Yep. You're right.
Somebody tell me what's the job of the Supreme Court, man? I'm not the smartest person in the world. What is their damn purpose?
Right now,
some of you smart folks, huh?
Right now, their purpose is to help
Donald Trump stay in power.
The blackness of America.
Right.
That's their job right now.
Help the what? What you say?
The blightness of America.
Oh, the brightness.
Blight, BL.
Blight.
Because they ain't doing shit for America.
No.
They're supposed to be there to interpret the laws of the nation.
And to keep the foundation firm.
Right.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Do we have any guard? Are there any guardrails left?
Oh no, ain't no guardrails on there.
No.
They burn all them. You know, old folks clean the chicken, and it's got the little furry hair on it.
Yeah.
And they take the
They take the lighter
and they burn it. They done did all that, bro. They done cleaned that chicken, baby. That chicken ready to be fried, baby.
Well, what's kind of scared me right now is I haven't heard from old drunk ass Pete lately. He been laying low, real low.
The guy from
was
it Nevada?
The defense.
He got a suit against him. The military got a retired astronaut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah.
Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Well, that's the one thing.
I think Kelly gonna strip him of his his dignity.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see everything eventually.
Mm.
You know, these folks are so low IQ that they don't understand that everything that they're doing now, that they're attempting to put in place, can be used against them at a later date.
Right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's how ignorant they are, man.
Yeah.
But see, they don't, Ron. They don't plan for a change.
They don't
Exactly.
expect the other side or other people that don't think like them when they get the upper hand to start thinking like them. Well, you're thinking like me. You're no better than me. Yeah, I'm better than you because I'm using what you put in place.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the problem with a lot of times when they pass policies or laws or whatever, and then other people utilize it. Then they want to say, well, no, you know, that's not what the intentions were. You know, like DEI. All they did was give DEI a modern name.
You're exactly right, Ron.
That's
That's the
all they
thing.
did.
When they talked about Obama committed treason, same thing. You can't do nothing to Obama because you done already made laws that
Yeah.
say that whatever he did while he was in office, he
Mhm.
good to go with.
Right.
Same thing with
Biden
Bill
the
Clinton.
same thing.
You
Biden the
know,
same thing.
did y'all witness that? And I don't know why they keep inviting this chick to this
Oh, Pam Bondi.
because the Republicans. That something's wrong with that broad.
Today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah, I
She
saw that.
was so ignorant, it was unbelievable. And them guys was trying their best not to get down in the gutter with her. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about Pam Bondi?
Oh, they was trying hard, but she was making it. Yo, you a loser lawyer, and you this and that. I'm like,
Oh
you
yeah,
trying
man.
to
When she nasty.
consider yourself a
But
good lawyer?
that happens. That happens every day in life. When you don't know what you're doing, and I'm pretty sure everybody on here has worked with that person who didn't know what they were doing, right? They faked it until they couldn't fake it no more. And then they got put in that cocoon, and now they want to get, well, you didn't do this, and why didn't you do that? And you because now I got to divert from my stupidity and my unintelligence. So that's what she's doing.
Right.
That's all she's doing is trying to turn this thing around because she know that she's way out of her league.
There's no legal bone in her body.
Look at her face, right? Go back and look at her when she was going through the
but go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
when she was going through the confirmations, right? And look at her now. That mugger done aged 400 years.
Yes.
But guys, I want to get back when I was working. Okay, I had a policy for myself. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not gonna let you know I don't know what I'm doing. So I present myself to you, and I ain't gonna tell you I don't know the answer. But so.
But you're gonna go find the answer.
So I ain't gonna tell you I gotta go find it. I just
But Mac, that's exactly what I'm saying. She too stupid to know the answer, and she too damn dumb to find out what it is.
Mac, that's because you read the unabridged version of the book. Make it till you make it. You know what I'm saying?
She's too stupid.
And the easiest way to do that is to just say, well, years ago we used to do it a certain way, but you might know something different. So I'm gonna give you the first bite at the apple.
There you go. There you go. That's how you
know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
reminds me of when I was on the IG team, right? Folks used to ask me all the time when I would do inspections, well, how come MASCOM? I said, because MASCOM is waiting for you to tell them what the hell that needs to be done. And then they're going to circulate it to everybody else like they thought of this.
They're going to steal your idea. And
they don't do the day-to-day work. That's what I'm saying. And that's why, you go back and associate when they talk about food prices. They know these people don't go to the supermarket. They don't know what the hell the price of this or that is. And they so not laid back, but they so just nonchalant that they'll send somebody to go find out the prices and come back, and then they'll start like Poppy Bush did a couple times when he was running for re-election, he was trying to pretend that he did his own grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when somebody asked him what the price of bread was.
Yeah. Out of touch, man.
He didn't know. Yeah. So, and that's what
Mhm.
they do. They pretend like like Trump at 3 o'clock in the morning is blaming a staffer for putting this out.
Right.
Mhm.
Like that
Yeah.
staffer can't go to bed until he tell him to go to bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that asshole, he never heard the word groceries before. So that just
No.
show you how.
Nah,
you
he
know,
made that up. He made that up.
Yeah.
Come on. He
Yeah.
made that
Yeah.
up. He put that word in the Merriam. He put that word. He told
Dictionary.
Merriam what that word was. Merriam didn't even know what that word was.
Right. Right.
A
Right.
lot of people said, I'm not the only one, but a lot of people. I said to myself,
Yeah.
I said, that's
Yeah.
like lying 101. When you
People
first
say-
learn how to lie, you say everybody's doing
Yeah,
it.
people say that all the time.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that Bonnie chick, man, you know, it's almost like, man, she might be a part of it in that damn Epstein file of damn self.
Bro, they're
Oh,
gonna indict
well,
her.
you know, you seen the picture of her with them down, I think, on his arm.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
What she
You
needs
know?
to do is she needs to go down in the basement of DOJ and dig in the crates and find everything she can on Alberto Gonzalez. Because that's what's gonna happen to her ass.
Mm.
The
She
same
need-
thing that happened to him.
She need to go in there and look at what happened to John Mitchell, because she gonna end up with a doggone orange jumpsuit.
No, that's too far back. Just go to see Alberto.
Yeah, cause he was in and out, wasn't he?
Alberto went to night school. He went to law school at night. And when they started asking him legal questions, he looking at the assistant like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, no, he never
He
read
had
that.
no understanding of the law.
Mm-hmm. What
That
is her?
was on the
Attorney General.
Yep.
But to keep this other guy that made this big to do about he and his wife were in the driveway and Epstein lived next door. And I said to my wife, I will never ever speak to him. And bastard was like 15 trips later, right?
Who's that?
After
Lutnick?
he claimed that they
Yeah.
stopped speaking.
Lutnick.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
his
had
kids,
the
his
island.
wife and kids down there on
Yeah.
the island
Yeah, they
with
had
the
the island.
pedophiles.
And
Right.
look, that's the one he's one of the ones that's the closest to Trump right now.
Who's that?
Everywhere Trump goes, you see his ass in the background.
Oh,
He-
Lutnick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lutnick.
Hey, Lutnick didn't already told he was there.
Yeah.
No,
He
he,
had to.
at first he
He
didn't.
got
Bobby.
caught on the lie.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
first he said
that's
that,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He told it, but he didn't tell it,
he
and
did.
then he had to tell it.
Oh, he's like, yeah, we're never gonna speak to him again.
Right.
That was so,
Right.
that was so whiteness. I said, oh yeah, Mr. High and Mighty.
Yeah. He talked about how nasty he was.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then he hanging out with him. So he had his nan. How many fucking nannies you have, man? You got that much money? Would they have a nanny for each kid?
And
But
here's the thing about it.
Eli wanted to know when they was gonna have the freaks over and shit.
Well,
Mhm.
if you look in the Epstein file, Epstein requested one of the nannies be brought to the island. That's the part Lutnick ain't. Lutnick brought one of the nannies there for Epstein,
Okay.
and
Now-
that's all in there too.
But here's another, nugget that came out of those files. So his secretary or whatever she was, personal assistant, right? She worked for him for 20 years. And this chick said, yeah, my name might be in those, but I never had any clue or any idea that this. I was like, Lee, please,
Really.
just get the hammer and knock the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to be kidding.
I didn't know my mom and dad was selling moonshine.
Yeah.
So
They
you didn't know him, Matt?
No, I didn't know it.
Judge, you're-
But old
Judge, you're-
boy said from Maryland said Trump's name was in those files over 1 million times.
Over 1 million times.
But he didn't commit no crime,
Look,
Nah,
and he wasn't aware of any crimes.
the
being
Joker
committed.
was flying on the same airplane. He knew it. He knew every stitch in every seat.
He used to borrow the plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
He did it. He used it for his campaign the first time around.
Yeah, they
and he
boys.
still has it.
Right.
Now you look at you look at some of the names that's coming out, man, in this file, right? All these rich folks, people with money.
Mm-hmm.
What about Walt Disney, man? What about down there in Disney World? All the kids, that's where all the kids hang out at. I mean, hey, look, I don't know, man. This shit gonna blow up eventually.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
don't know.
He
I
had
don't know.
he had one friend. This Joker got a doggone ballroom that's got a mirrored floor. This billionaire, you got mirrored floor. So when women show up, looking underneath their dresses, and that's one of Trump's biggest donors.
Damn.
Yeah, man, these guys doing all kind of crazy shit.
They brought his ass up on charges. He had some charges on him.
Yeah, they all had charges on them, and it ain't gonna go nowhere as long as they got the DOJ. What's it gonna do? Trump got charges on him. They ain't lock his ass up either.
Let me tell you something. And you heard it. You didn't hear this from me, but my man over in England, he gonna jump in the goddamn. He gonna
tell everything.
He gonna jump off of London Bridge, man.
Well, I hope he talk before he jump,
but
man.
he gonna talk before he jump.
I hope
That
so.
dude was so freaky back when I was stationed in England. He had a girlfriend that was American, and she was a porno queen.
Who that? The prince?
Yeah, the prince.
Oh yeah.
That was before he married Fergie.
That brother Andrew.
Andrew was something else. Andrew said he liked to get his freak on. But Brits do a lot of strange things, but they're not down with that.
Oh.
Right.
Because they used to have what they call in one of the newspapers, they had a paid street girl. And the paid street girl was always butt ass naked.
Oh yeah, that's England. Yeah.
And then the age of consent in England was 16. So they would have a 16-year-old girl butt ass naked in the newspaper every day.
Oh, that's age of consent over there?
16.
Well, shit, he's straight then, ain't
he? No.
Huh?
Not in
He
the
should be good
States,
to
he
go.
ain't.
Huh?
Not in the States, he ain't.
Well,
No,
I mean, he got that's an alibi, man. Hell,
Not in the
he don't know
States, he
better.
ain't.
Hey, Bill
Chester.
Jordan, huh?
Hey, Chester, I dealt with him, bro. Listen, I had them locked up in the States when they used to go to Thailand to get them kids. They would fly to Thailand to have sex with them kids, right?
Bring them.
And look, soon as you get off that plane, come on with us.
Yeah, come on home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think about Hillary and Bill Clinton being in this thing, man? You think they're gonna bring anything out?
I think that what the Clintons want to have done is it be in public.
Right.
Right.
Just saw what happens if it's enclosed, because they just had last week earlier this week had a session closed with somebody, and I forgot. I just remember that when what they made public was the questioning by the Republican congressman, but they didn't make public what the Democrats asked.
Right.
And so Bill Clinton and Hillary wanted to be public.
Right.
Do that. The other thing that I thought, as I listened, I thought about today's Pam Bondi. Before you go to a thing like she went today, they have the best people in that office, the most knowledgeable people that they have. They
prepare you.
They make a question sheet for everything she could possibly be asked and what she should respond. All this information in there. And she goes over it. She's brief, because when I was in Pentagon, that was part of my job to do for a guy. Was and you brief him, and you have, if you ask this question, this is the way you'll respond to it. If you don't have a response in here, then you refuse to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Start getting nasty, you throw the ball back at them. And so when a person is brief like that, my thought was, I shared this with my wife. Sometimes you're better off if you're questioning a person who comes like that by not building up to the question, but just asking them a direct question to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do this? Well, that doesn't give them a chance to go into all your background and stuff, because all you did was ask them right out the back a question. But when you start talking about all the stuff that this administration hadn't done, and y'all haven't done this, and y'all have shot this and that, and now we're going to ask you a question. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Well, that gives her time to flip through the book and get ready to bombard you. She pulls over to the page that this is Representative Chester from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Oh, I see what Chester did. I start attacking you.
Mm-hmm. Did you see what they did? Was they went there? You know, they had all the Democratic and a couple of Republicans that went in and looked at the Epstein files. Well, what they did was they went there and they identified all the search records that they had and everything that they searched on. They had a book for her on what they searched on, and they about to bring them up on that. It's like, wait a minute, you know, we the Congress, and if we search something in private in a secure thing, you guys are supposed to go behind and then identify everything that we searched on and come back and talk about it. But they found that she had a book with just that on there.
Well,
that's gonna get ugly.
What was even worse to me than that, Smitty, was the fact that they only had 4 computers with this stuff on it. Meant you could have 435 congressmen, and all you can have is 4 of them in there.
Computers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how they control it.
It'll be 4 years before all the congressmen can go in there and review it. It'll be
Exactly.
at least 2026. So those are my thoughts about what's going on, and the only thing that I think is that the way you stop her, she's terrible. I can't pronounce that word too good, but she was in there representing Trump and his party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the only
He said
way
that. He admitted that.
Yeah.
the only way you stop that, the only way I see you can stop that is by asking direct questions to her and not going so much into, well, this happened up here and this happened up there, and I just want to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Gives her time to come back and say, well, Bobby Jones, you did this on such and such date. How can you answer for that? Smitty's supposed to be doing this, so she can bring all that stuff in, which is irrelevant, totally irrelevant to what you're trying to get to the public. What you were trying to get to the public was the fact that they are sitting on information and they are violating the law.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They're violating the law. Law was passed, they're violating it. And the question is, how can you say you're enforcing the law when you violate it every day?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you're really saying is you're enforcing the laws that you want to enforce.
Laws in your head, yeah.
So that's the kind of way I looked at it. I looked at it. I just got tired of listening to the lady line and playing a game of, you won't let me answer.
She said everything but your mama is fat.
Yeah. Right.
That's where she was going the whole time that she was there.
Yeah.
But I think they picked the wrong fight with Bill and Hillary. Because Hillary, I said to myself, you need to go back to your Benghazi files and see how many hours y'all tried to grill her then to leave out the place with your hand on your head. Like, why the hell did we just go through that?
Mm-hmm.
Or about her computer and her files. And I said, they ain't never been slicker than Slick Willie.
No, he's good.
Well,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you gave presidential immunity. When was
Yeah.
that? What year was that? Oh, I was president that year. I
Yeah,
can't talk about that.
yeah. Any
I
guy
can't talk
that can
about
get
that.
a B, yeah,
about
any guy that can get a BJ in the White House and his
That's
wife
right.
not kill him, he got to be slick.
He's slick.
He said he did not have sex with her. He didn't say she didn't have it with him.
Right.
He didn't have it with her.
Mm-hmm.
know about Hillary and all that stuff about Benghazi. When it occurred, I went and tracked some things. And first of all, the ambassador should have never been going to Benghazi to begin with. He didn't have the right security when he went there.
Mm.
U.S. forces, the nearest U.S. forces were in Italy. They didn't have time to respond. I mean, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
them fighter pilots were in the Stag Bar drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, how they gonna react to something? And the other thing was that about Hillary and those emails, she was just doing what secretaries of state had done before her,
Yeah.
and they read the executive order that Barack Obama put out.
Right.
Hillary was an original authority for classified information, which means that under the thing, if she looked at something and she didn't think it wasn't classified, it was not classified.
Right.
It's just that simple. So all of this stuff was smokescreen, and to me, the biggest thing that hurt her was Jim Comey coming out in October talking about he opened a new investigation on her.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, the same dude, the same
Yeah.
guy, the same guy that tried, y'all talk about Benghazi, the same guy that tried to eat Hillary up about Benghazi just ate Trump and them up about Minnesota. Trey Gowdy.
Mm.
Trey
Oh,
Gowdy.
Crooked
Trey
nose
Gowdy
Trey.
was he was the same one that tried to eat Hillary up about Benghazi, and he just ate them up about killing that boy in Minnesota.
Yeah.
How you going? He was like, how you going to justify that?
You're right.
Mm.
That's
You can't say 1 minute you saying you can't. You're going to tell me I can have my gun.
Yeah.
Then you're going to tell me I can have a gun and I can have a license to carry, but I can't take it over here.
Right.
He said, how you going to justify that?
Yeah.
He ate. Look, Fox News will not run that again.
No.
will Trey Gowdy be employed by them in the future?
I always called Trey Gowdy the weasel because he looks like a weasel to
That
me.
Joker looked like a white gremlin, don't he?
He does.
That Joker looked like Spike.
When the vampire,
That Joker looked like Spike from the Gremlins.
he looked like one of the vampire guys. What was that TV show with the vampires? He looked like one of them.
Mm.
That Joker looked like a little mouse.
Yeah.
You know, when I think back when I was stationed in Panama, man, at Howard, about 4 years down there. Then my wife was young then, you know. And say we had some neighbors in the little block we lived in, and somebody was always throwing a party, you know. So Bobby Jones might have been throwing a party this weekend, and we go down to Jones's house, partying, and everybody walking around with their hand, drinking their hands, sipping and going on. And all at once, I got to go to the bathroom, and I open the bathroom door up, man, and it's on and popping up in there.
Yeah.
The coke flying, and like Max says, somebody over there in the corner over there getting a BJ. And hey, man, look,
Yeah.
I had to tip out. Hey, look, tell my wife, look, we need to get hell on up out of here, you know. So what I'm saying is,
it's time to go.
yeah,
We're
because
gonna
you went
nickname
to
you
Epstein
Ludnick.
Island, huh?
We're
What you say,
going to
Matt?
nickname you Ludnick.
That's what I'm saying. You know, just because you went to Epstein Island now, that don't necessarily mean
He
you was
partook.
dabbing into all of the, you know, all of the goodies in the cookie jars and stuff.
But
you
if
know?
you keep going back,
Well, that's true.
A million
keep
times.
going back.
Because
If
I'm
you
gonna
keep
tell you
going
now,
back,
That hood I lived in over there at Howard, man. Boy, let me tell you something. There was some parties going on, man. And look, I may have went one time. One time was enough for me.
I've heard they
I
had a
ain't I ain't go back no more. Hmm.
good
So I can't wait to see what Bill and Hillary, what they bring to this if they let them speak, to the public.
Hey, you
They
know
go-
why they kept going back to that island, right? Because they got a hold of that snapper over there, bro.
Mm. That's what you call it, the snapper.
Big that man, that's that ooh wee.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
He was probably putting shit in their drink. They ain't know the age of the girls and shit because they told them don't worry about it. Like that show to catch a predator. These
Mhm.
guys, man, once they motor get running, shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he recording everything, man. That
He
boy was
did.
recording everything.
You know what I think they what's gonna happen is they're gonna force the victims to go and get permission to release everything that their lawyers have on file.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna blow the whole thing up because ain't none of it gonna be redacted.
Right.
Once they get, and that's what they're pushing. Their hope is that these young women do not come forward because they want to hide their identity. That's always in that situation. The bet is that she's not gonna show.
Right.
But they redacted everybody,
And
not just the victims. That's the problem.
but
I
I'm
mean,
saying the victims when they went to court, they have these. That's why they're saying they're not releasing everything. They have the unredacted version of everything just about that Epstein did to them
Right.
from going to court over years
Mm-hmm.
with depositions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want to know. They don't want people to know, their neighbors or whomever, to know that this happened to them. That's the shame. And that's what I'm saying. These guys are all banking on the shame factor of not getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
But when those young ladies decide that shame is no longer an issue, they're gonna go down like dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing
Yeah.
about it is, what Bill and Hillary are banking on is that they plan on trapping Bill and Hillary, but Bill and Hillary said in order to get them, you gotta give disclosure. And if you have to get disclosure, that means you can't give us anything redacted. We've got to have the whole thing in order to defend ourselves. And once you do that, we've got you. See that? So they never should have did that because they're two really, really smart lawyers. They said, listen, if you get me, I might say something. You say, aha, we can go to court on them and we're going to try to prosecute. You can't prosecute me without full disclosure. And full disclosure means that I get all the files. And once I get all the files, because I can't defend myself without all the files. And once I get all the files, I'm coming after you. And they set the trap. They're too stupid to see the trap.
Yeah.
The whole trap.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's the whole
They're not just going there just to go through the clown show. They got something up their sleeves.
What they got is, hey, we're going to ask for full disclosure. And if we get full disclosure, you can't redact a damn thing because whatever you redact, it might be what I needed to defend myself. And that's legal. They can't. And then once I get the whole file, I'm going to flip the script on you. And then that Trump will go to jail. See, that's the plan. Say, hey, I gotta throw myself over. I'm trying to catch a gator, but somebody got to tie a rope around their waist to get in the water. So I'm gonna get in the water. The gator gonna bite me in the ass, but I'm gonna pull you out the boat. Right? And that's what the plan is.
Okay.
That's the whole plan.
Well, we're coming up on that 2 hours now. I'm gonna start mine, but I'm gonna start mine with Bobby Jones. Bobby. Now, I want you to think a minute before you start talking, because you've and Smitty, did you work in the prison system also?
No, I did
Any
not.
of you guys? It's just you, Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay. Now think about this, Bobby, before you start talking again. Because you said it, you spoke on this once before. Epstein committed suicide. right?
Mm-hmm.
In that prison system. Now, do you really, with all of the powers to be or that's out there, you don't really think there's no way that somebody could have come in there and did him when you really think about it?
No. And that's because, being honest, the FBI, who did all our investigations, they couldn't even come on the pound. They couldn't even come on the pound without an escort. There's nobody other than the staff member that can get inside of there without an escort. The other side of that is, if he was in special housing, like they said,
now you use that word if.
Yeah, because
So
I wasn't there, so I can't say.
Okay.
I can't say where he was in the prison. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So if he was in
Okay.
special housing, like they said,
Mm-hmm.
there's at least 2 to 3 other things that you had to do to get into that particular part of the building. First, you gotta show ID at the door. Control has to open one door, right? Then an officer that's on the inside has to open another door. And for you to get to the cells, an officer has to open each cell block so you can get to the cell. So that's three things that you have to do. We talking lieutenants, captains, wardens, everybody got to go through the same thing. There's no difference like, oh, I'm the warden, let me in. No, that's not how it go. And even as a warden, when you go in there, you got to sign in, you got to do all that stuff. You got to be facial recognized, everything. And that's inside the prison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that people didn't do things wrong. We do that all the time. We human.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as somebody just going up in there and doing something to him, nah, that ain't gonna happen. First of all, ain't no officer gonna allow that to happen, because I don't give a damn. If I'm working, I don't care if I don't know you. You ain't coming in there, and I definitely ain't gonna let you go see somebody just because you tell me, oh, I'm X, Y, and Z. No, because if something happens, i.e., that man kill himself, or you go in his cell and come out and tell me, well, hey, he's something's wrong with him, he fell out or whatever, and then they find out I let him in, guess who going to jail? Me. We had people in New York. There's a federal prison in Brooklyn where the captain and all these guys, and they had elevators, so they get inmates on the elevator and they tighten them up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one inmate they opened the elevator door and he jetted. Well, they drug him back in.
Mm-hmm.
22 people went to jail off of that one incident.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it didn't happen,
mm-hmm.
but I'm telling you, it's a tough sell for me being in there.
Didn't you say some missing time, Matt, on that situation? Didn't I hear you say something about that?
I think
the missing
about the video.
Yeah, the missing. So, and like I said, there's no video inside the cell.
Mm-hmm.
So now that missing time, there's a strong possibility that there is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it could be. I'm not saying that stuff didn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
but that stuff could also be happening to save the officer's butt. Because if you remember, the whole thing was that the officers wasn't doing their 30-minute checks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but they're not letting nobody in there like that, because, like I said, I'm not going to jail for you, Chester. Not like that. I'm not going to jail for Ron. I ain't going to jail for nobody on here, not for nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it, well, hey, look, you better wait till he get out. If you want to off him, you better wait till you get out, because I'm not going to do the time for you.
Mm-hmm.
I did 8 hours a day for 20 plus years. I ain't doing no more.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby,
Go
you
ahead, Bill.
federal prisons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And just
That's
to add,
And
I don't know.
just to know, we took over the feds because of we took over. Well, in fact, Lorton, Colonel, I know you know about Lorton. We took over Lorton Prison, which was actually it was in Virginia, but it was considered the D.C. state prison, right? And the feds took that over because cats was down there doing what they wanted to do. You know, they bring in stuff to the inmates, and the inmates selling the drugs, and the officers was making money, and the inmates making money. They shut all that down, and a lot of them officers end up being my students.
mm,
Mm.
mm,
So
mm,
hey, listen, I like I said, I'm gonna tell you that the possibility of it happening is very small, very, 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 very small.
Did,
mm-hmm.
did
Hey
you,
Bobby, you brought up Lawton. My man Petey Green did time in Lawton.
Yeah, Petey, yeah. Listen, I had one of the biggest cats around there in DC at the prison. He was down Lorton for a minute. Rayford Austin. I mean, yeah, Rayford.
Rayford Evans,
Rayford
Edmonds?
Edmonds. There you go. I'm thinking the basketball board, but yeah.
Him and
Yeah,
his mama.
Rayford Edmonds.
Him and his mama was killing up a bunch of people.
But yeah, so yeah, Chester, that's a tough one, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. And I still say I can't see that happen.
I mean, the reason I brought that up is because now with all of these big names that's that's in those files, man. And they want to silence him, which he's speaking from beyond the grave now. Shit, I don't know.
And like you said, I'm not saying, like I said before, also, I'm not saying he didn't get a phone call from one of them talking about, yo, if you talk,
Mm,
you know what I mean? A whole
mm-hmm,
lot of stuff
Right.
gonna happen to your people. You know what I mean? And he
mm-hmm,
might have said, you know what, I'm gonna check out.
mm-hmm,
You know what I
Possible.
mean? Instead of me talking, I'm gonna go and check out.
mm, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bobby,
Okay.
one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever run across a name Booker? A guy named Booker who was a deputy director of the Bureau of Prisons?
White guy?
No, black guy, big black guy.
Booker. That name does sound familiar.
Uh,
That does sound familiar.
yeah. The reason I ask is because the guy who's I know him. That's his brother was just calling me on the phone and talked to him about some of the terrible federal prisons. One of them was Atlanta.
Yeah.
Uh,
And see, Atlanta, when I started, Atlanta was one of the places that got set off because that was when they did two things. Then they had the Mariel Cubans, right, and they were talking about sending them all back, and they ain't trying to hear that. And they had that, and that was also when they had the cocaine crack law thing. So Atlanta was one of the first ones to blow up. And then all hell broke loose around all the federal prisons. But Atlanta was the first one. Yeah, Atlanta went on the longest.
Mm.
They that was crazy.
Mm. Well, go ahead, Bob. I'm gonna let you go ahead, man, and get your. That's the only thing I had. I'm gonna let you go ahead, man. You got anything final you want to bring up while we're still talking?
Man, listen, I'm just tired of this tariff thing and these people not understanding that tariffs make us pay more for stuff.
Yeah.
And And these people are so stupid that this man had them so brainwashed that they don't really understand that they're paying more for whatever it may be. Right. And the part of that is the biggest part of that is we're only paying, a lot of it is that we're paying tariffs actually to the Elon Musk, the Bezos, and all of them of the world, all these billionaires. Why? Because they're the ones who took their businesses and sent them to China, sent them to
Yeah.
Mexico, and sent them all over the world, right? So that they can make more money. So all the tariffs that this man, he's so stupid, he don't even understand all the tariffs that he's putting on. We're paying more, but they're making more.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make their money
And
regardless.
they don't, and the people in this country don't understand that.
Right.
And then he's talking about every day about how many thousands of companies are coming back to the, you cannot build a building on Monday and people working in it on Tuesday.
No.
Right.
It's not gonna happen like that.
That's right.
I mean, you look at everything, right? All American cars used to be made in America.
Absolutely.
All American car parts used to be made in America.
Right.
Right? Then they started the free trade thing.
Mhm.
Totally understandable. Right? So now the car industry, and the reason I speak on the car industry because that's what I lived off of. That's what my parents worked. So
Right.
so then when the free trade thing came along, now you got the car parts being made in Mexico.
Right.
Not a problem. Then you started sending half the car to Mexico.
Right.
Now the car parts made in China. But what happens? And I've said it before, what happens? If you have a product and you want it made the way that you make it, if you want the real McCoy, you gotta send your schematics, your everything over there so that it's done the way that you want it done for your company. They get it, and what do with it? They change some wording in it. Take this screw, move it to the, instead of it being on the right, move it to the left. Now it's theirs. Now we're buying their stuff. They're still making ours, but it's saying made in China, right? When you get it, everything fits, but then they have their own too, which also says made in China. But that didn't come from no brown person. You want to kick the brown people out? Let's kick the people out who really caused this situation. And that's the rich white man that wanted more money, that sent his business to these other countries so that he could make more money because of free trade. They wanted free trade so they wouldn't have to have people like me and look like us in their companies. That was the first thing. The second thing was that they could make more money and they ain't got to worry about paying nobody, black, white, whatever you want, whatever color, whatever nationality, whatever. I don't have to pay you $25, $26, $27 an hour.
Exactly.
I can pay them, and I don't care what they pay their people. You tell me we negotiate this. Okay, I'll make this part for you for $5 a piece. Would you pay your people out of that $5? I don't care.
Right.
But this is the part that people who believe in these people, to include that person at 1600, these are the things that they don't understand or they don't want to see.
Right.
And that's what's factual. And what's factual is this thing is all about money and power.
Yes.
But the part they're going to lose at is because when you get rid of all the people, how the hell you going to make money?
You ain't gonna make money.
How the hell you going to make money? You can't make money if you don't have somebody working it. And somebody said it earlier.
Right.
If you ain't got nobody to work for you,
Right.
he got nothing.
You
And
gonna
that 200 years or whatever of free labor,
uh-huh.
they want that back. Like somebody said earlier, they want that free labor back.
Mm.
You
And
know,
that's what they're fighting for.
but you can't have free labor if you get rid of the immigrants that are coming in and doing it, because you already had cheap labor. You can't you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. So when they close the borders and they get rid of the cheap labor, then suddenly there's a decline in productivity. They're already seeing it.
Well, Smitty, didn't you say it at the beginning of the session here that they building all of these encampments
Yes.
and throwing all these immigrants, well, they calling them immigrants or whatever, illegal aliens into these camps that
That's what
they
they
gonna
do.
probably put their asses out in the fields come
That-
this growing season and stuff.
That's what
That's gonna be the free labor.
that's going to be the free labor. That's what they're looking at, because there's no other way to do it, because they're losing money. Because when they had a big, you look around and you look in the South, growing season's about to start.
Right.
And there's going to be no crops coming from America this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because immigrants are scared to go to work.
They done run them off. They done run them all off. Yeah.
And they tried that in Georgia years ago when they did the same thing and then mess around and all their crops were sitting in the field. And then they said, oh, we got to back up off of that. And so these folks that they got here aren't old enough to remember when they did that the first time. And the crops they ain't going to have no crops this year. You get your vegetables now and can them, because you ain't going to have them if you don't grow them yourself. Because got tariffs on all of them coming importing. So you got tariffs on the imports, and we got no labor market to produce the ones internally. So what do you think will happen to all the price of your groceries?
But even with that, Smith, and you're right. That was the free trade thing was okay. We produce this, you produce that,
right?
And so since we produce it, we're gonna sell 70% of ours, and we'll buy 30% of yours.
Right.
Right. And that's how it went, and vice versa. Whatever you produce, we'll buy 70% and you sell the other 30%. And that's exactly how it was supposed to be, right? A give and take.
Right. And it was working well.
Yeah.
And not only that, but if we're in business together, it's hard to go to war with each other.
Exactly.
Hard to go to war with each other when we're in business together. So it reduced the amount of warfare because everybody was working. My people working, your people working. Hey, are you happy with your stack? I'm happy with my stack. I ain't gonna go shooting at you and mess up my market. Why do you think China doesn't want to go to war? China told us, they said the reason America's in so much deficit is because we've been fighting wars. While you've been fighting wars, we've been building factories. Two damn different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you done, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right, Smitty, keep talking. What you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I got a lot off my chest already today. So
Okay.
You damn sure did.
I kind of want to follow up on what Bobby was saying. Look, that little town I grew up in, Henderson, North Carolina. They had a lot of factories around there when I was coming up. Cotton. I told you I worked in the cotton mill. Where they used to spin, bring all that cotton in from the fields and they spin it up and make with all kinds of shit, man. You know what they make out of cotton. But tobacco, had a bunch of tobacco plants around there where they would process that tobacco. We had a glass plant where they would make air filters and filters for your furnaces in your houses and all kind of stuff like that, man. And all of that stuff, like you were saying, Bobby, they took it. I guess they took it overseas. They took it out of that little town that I was growing up in, man. And the people lost their jobs and all of the jobs left. And I mean, the town just really went to hell, man. That's why it's so much. I mean, that little town, man, it is so violent, man. I mean, it's crazy, man. It was on the news today. Every time I turn around, something is going on in that little town I grew up in. But yeah, I guess that's just a result, man, of them doing that stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
But
taking that job, man.
yeah, taking them jobs, man, and I don't know. But Ron, what you got, man? You wanna finish up on?
I was just
Or maybe we didn't touch.
just to piggyback on what you said, it's been proven years ago that if you don't have things for young folks to do job wise, then they're gonna do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about moving jobs in this country is always about capitalizing and maximizing profit. So, in the short run, it works for me, but in the long run, it doesn't work for the country. You know what I'm saying? But by that time, they will have drained everything out of the coffers that they can take. You know what I mean? And that's what you look at countries like, I remember when Idi Amin fled, them boys went straight to the vault. Everybody that had access was just grabbing as much cash as they can get. Right? Same thing in Iraq. After Saddam went to hide, they caught his folks trying to head to the border to Libya, right?
Mm-hmm.
With tractor trailer loads of cash on pallets wrapped in what they had them wrapped like they was gonna be shipped.
Yeah, like some shrink wrap.
Yeah, they had them shrink wrap, and I mean it was just pallets upon pallets on these tractor trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So people's natural tendency when they get power is to start stealing. Because they don't think that anybody else is going to find out about it, number one. Number two, they can't wait to tell somebody, which is always their downfall. And it don't even have to be big money. I mean, I look at a lot of our brothers and sisters around the country that are mayors and different things, and they get promoted or they work their way up to status positions. And the first thing they want to do is pay $10,000 and have somebody do a portrait of them. They go buy bags and not Cadillacs, but expensive cars, BMWs, go on cruises, and then it all goes to shit, and then they want to say they sorry. And it's just something about being in position to have that type of power and wealth, and then you don't get none of it. And that's just the byproduct of this country, man. But I'm just hopeful that this country is going to wake up within the next 2 years when the next election come around, and a lot of the things that we're experiencing today, I believe are going to be reversed.
You think we're gonna have an election?
This bullshit is permanent.
Oh, we definitely gonna have an election.
I mean, well, you think we're gonna get to the mid? Let me put it this way: we're gonna get to the midterm.
Yeah, we getting there.
Oh, for sure.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we getting there.
Okay. Okay.
Can't stop that. That's not.
Listen,
it's not as simple as they're making it out to be.
There's gonna be a lot of intimidation going on.
It's been intimidation since the 60s, man.
Yeah.
Well, they got the Klan out there now, man.
Well, Atlanta, Georgia,
ICE is the new Klan.
Was it a certain county in Atlanta, or was it Georgia that said, "Don't bring water to your cousin and them at the voting line"?
That was
yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Georgia or was that the county?
That was Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah. Don't bring no food. Don't bring nothing. If you do, I'm gonna arrest you.
Right.
So these things have been happening for a long period of time. It's just that now it's more visible. It's every day now. You know what I'm saying?
But
like
see,
the folks that are stealing been stealing for a long time. And the thing that people don't understand, and I don't know why they don't understand, Trump is dealing from a different universe. This dude is trying to make up for lost time. He's pushing he's unhealthy. He's pushing it to the point to where everything that he ever wanted as a child, and that's why everything he does is childlike. He's doing.
What they call it, the Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Can't nobody stop me. What they gonna do about it? Nothing. And And that's why
Mhm.
people think he gets away with everything.
Mm. Mhm.
The average person says he get away with everything. You really think he's getting away with it?
Mm.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
I
For
always
now.
tell people, you voted if a sex offender, if somebody was declared a sex offender by the legal system and they moved into your neighborhood, you'd be the first one that be talking about they ain't let us know and this and that, but you voted for a sex offender.
Yep.
Mm. Right. Exactly.
And you didn't
Yeah.
have any problems voting
Yeah.
doing that. There's no
Voted-
Yeah.
difference.
You voted
Yeah.
for him twice.
But they keep thinking because he steal money that he knows how to make them money. That has never been his MO.
Mhm.
He don't know how to make nobody else rich.
Mm-mm.
No.
In all
Yeah.
his filings in bankruptcy court, his goal was to always go to arbitration
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and get it knocked down.
Right.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
all he wanted. He knew he was gonna lose most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you know. But people keep hanging on that. Well, I think every day I'm watching TV and I see people. Well, it seems like they're coming around and they're talking like this shit is fantasy
Mhm.
instead of saying what's truthful. They
Mhm.
all know, and the ones if you look at majority of the people that they put on our TV nowadays, they explain this kind of shit to us are white.
Of course.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they're wealthy.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the haves and the have-nots right now for the next 3 years, man.
And that's
Mm.
what the biggest concern they talk about now is as long as the stock market is breaking records, they don't care about nobody else.
Right. That's right.
That's
Yeah.
all I got.
All right. Take us on in, Bill.
Well, I want to thank each of you for your wonderful comments. I enjoyed them. It was refreshing. I'd been on an earlier podcast with some elders, and we were at a very esoteric level, and it's always important for me to come down to earth, and I applaud you, brothers, for sharing down to earth points of view with me.
Mm.
One of the things I thought about was Pam Bondi today was bragging about how Trump had stopped the flow of drugs into this country. And I just asked a simple question, went through my mind was, has the price of drugs on the street gone up? And the answer, and you know it hadn't gone up because the crime rate is down.
Right.
If the drugs go up, the crime rate's gonna go up because I can remember 50 years ago in Life magazine, a person in New York, in order to rob an apartment, was scaling over a fire escape 75 stories in the air, something like that, about 30 and all that. I said, man, these dudes are crazy.
Mm.
You let the price of drugs go up.
Yeah.
Robbing's gonna go up, purse snatching's gonna go up, carjacking's gonna go up, breaking in your house is gonna grow up,
Mhm.
everything's gonna go up. So she's bragging about all the drugs they stopped. And I can remember in sitting in a place talking about this years ago, where with all our best efforts, we were impacting about 10% of the drug flow.
That's it.
Mm.
The other thing that I loved to listen to the comments about was globalization and the impact of that on the American labor market and prices in America, the impact of tariffs. And that's why we need a big Navy, because of globalization,
Absolutely.
to protect the roots.
Mm.
But really, the thing about tariffs is a tax on me, you, and all of us in this conversation.
Mhm.
And I had supposedly an educated brother telling me the Chinese are going to pay the tariffs.
Mm.
No.
What? when you tax another country, that's war.
Exactly.
That's war, man. So that's what I see. And when I look at what has happened with the occupant of 1600, I think certain things come to mind, old things. An apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Mm.
A leopard can't change his spots. And he's just doing what he's always done. And when people get a past performance is the best predictor of future performance.
Mm.
when you what do you expect? I mean, if we had elected John Gotti, what would we expected him to do?
Mm.
Crime.
Yeah.
So we elected somebody who was worse than John Gotti.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do we expect? And you know, I have to I get jumped on when I say we elected. I didn't vote for him, Bill. You must be crazy. Hold up, man. I'm saying the public, and I'm saying it for when I say that, that tells me that I need to get out here and be a greater vocal voice against what is happening.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are listen to Pam Bondi and they'll go away saying, well, he's made the country better.
Mm.
But
he saved 256 million lives.
Mm. Mm.
But if they don't get a chance to hear Bobby Jones explain what it meant with the job, I thought that was beautiful, Bobby. Jobs. And what Smitty explained and what Ron explained.
Yeah.
They're not getting a full picture because sometimes we try to make the stuff too complicated and remove it from the impact that ordinary people are experiencing.
Amen.
What does it mean to the ordinary person?
Mm-hmm.
I come and theorize and put it all in these high terms, but that's useless. I heard a law enforcement friend of mine, he referred to drugs as poor people's pain medicine.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this guy is against that. He's been a law enforcement person and all his life. He said, and he and I talked, when I was young, if a person had an addiction to drugs, they had a treatment center in Lexington, Kentucky, where they would send them. I don't know if we have any treatment centers anymore.
Not many. We got a few.
They cost so much now.
Right.
You see, families got to pay for them now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And then what's happening? Many years ago, I looked at incarceration rates in America. Here we make up 50, I'd say black folks make up 15% of the population.
Right. 30% of the dogs.
I looked at it that a white guy, the person who had the least chance of going to jail was a white person.
Mm-hmm.
Next was a Mexican, but the had the most chance of going in jails, filling up the jails, was black folks.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, man, something has to be done about that. People need to know that this country, historically, has treated us, actually, descendants of Africans enslaved in the United States have been treated worse than Native Americans. Because Native Americans were given reservations where they could partially exist.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that they didn't kill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ones that they didn't kill,
right.
Reservations. You go out to New Mexico, the Taos Reservation, the Navajos, the Apaches, Lakota. Tell me where's a reservation in the United States for descendants of Africans enslaved in the United States.
Don't have-
Mhm.
So we were left with no land at all.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it. So this country has been ugly to the people who built it.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Built it. And I bet all of y'all never thought y'all would hear me say that.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
we all in agreement now.
Yeah. I mean, you think I just heard a thing they was talking about Central Park. Central Park was owned by African Americans.
Yep. They
All
built over. They built over. Yep, they sure did.
They
The
bulldozed it down and made it a park.
Yep. The rich people.
they have a place here in Spotsylvania County. The guy just told me, next to where Robert E. Lee School was, that used to be owned by prominent blacks. In some kind of way, they moved them out of here. That happens in America when you look at where black people. Just go to Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
People in Jackson, Mississippi black folks have to boil their water to use it.
Mhm.
But whites who live up on the northwest side don't, because they got sufficient treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And the state government in Mississippi won't give the local government the right to raise the taxes so they can put treatment plants so blacks can get a water.
That was one of the things Dion fought for when he was down there.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Lubbock, Texas, the black people lived in East Lubbock. The feedlots where the wind blew, the smell from the feedlot was always over where the black folks lived.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the case in a lot of places in the South.
Yeah.
So my point being is that there's a lot that needs to be done, and America owes black people a heck of a lot, and that they will not move toward getting that unless we have the courage to stand up and tell them.
Absolutely.
And stand up and speak the truth about what has happened in America. Not what has happened, what is still happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave you with the fact that my grandson told me, who lives in Minneapolis, he has to have, Papa, I got my papers. I'm not worried about ICE. Who ever thought in America you would need papers to travel in America to show that you're an American citizen?
It's ridiculous.
The place that want to go around and tell everybody they got to tear down walls.
Right.
Amen. Thank you. I'm complete, Chester.
All right, brothers. I appreciate y'all coming hanging out with me, man. Guess we'll see you again in 2 weeks then.
Yes, we will.
All right.
All right, brother.
That's my file. All right.
All right,
Y'all have a
brothers.
good one.
All
Thank
right,
you.
brothers. Yep.
Thank you now.
Have a good night.
Good night.